So, all right, I guess introduce yourself. That's like the easiest way to approach this.
Okay. Well, I'm Sean Martin from The Quarantined. The Quarantined is a punk, metal, and grunge band, and I'm the executive producer, the guitarist, and vocalist, and I'm also a combat veteran of the Airborne Infantry, and I'm a graduate of Musicians Institute from in Hollywood for guitar studies and music industry studies, and I've been in the professional music industry for the last 12 years or so.
Okay, and well, I'm the host of this podcast, obviously, and I also work a regular 9 to 5. Well, not really a regular job, but like an ordinary job as well. But I'm also an entertainment writer and stuff like that.
Hmm.
And I've talked to celebrities or not, well, yeah, a few celebrities, but also like people involved in the music and TV industry. Like I interviewed Neil deGrasse Tyson, for example.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
I annoy people by bringing that up pretty often, but like if other people did that, they would do the same thing. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
so I guess you reached out to me to be a guest on this show. So what exactly did you want to talk about? I guess like the political system or like your experience in the military.
Sure. Whatever you like to know. What's tickling your fancy? With
Well,
the political things.
what's your musical background? What are your influences there? I suppose.
So grunge music in the '90s is definitely an influence on Aversion to Normalcy, the latest album that I've just released. Um, but I have I draw from a lot of different genres, and very proudly so. It's I like to you know take from soul and Stevie Wonder, and the kinds of bands that would incorporate um, multiple different genres uh, into their into their music. I'm very much of a use all of the techniques that you can, and don't
Sure.
restrict yourself, kind of mentality.
Yeah, like when I started off with music, like my first albums that I bought were Nirvana's In Utero and Offspring's Smash.
Yeah.
I still think those are great albums to start with. So I didn't start off with like the Backstreet Boys or something like that.
Yeah.
So, I can at least say that much. But I also got into because my aunt Donna had a few weird albums. So she had like this psychedelic, hardcore psychedelic Texas band called the Red Crayola, and she had their album The Parable of Arable Land. And like basically the story of that album is like they invited like 50 hippies into the studio and they just made a bunch of crazy noise in between the songs. So it's a very freewheeling and chaotic album. So that was kind of an influence on me.
Yeah.
It got me a little bit more into avant-garde kind of stuff, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
It was a realization that hey, anything could be music.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You don't
It
need
can.
rules.
Right. Yeah. That is one of the awesome aspects of music, is that yes, you can throw out the entire rule book, and it still ends up being music. And I was going to tell you, I listened to some of your stuff as well, and it what it reminded me of was like Trent Reznor's kind of film scores that he would do. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
that's
Like
I guess that's a compliment.
oh, definitely. No, it's definitely a compliment. I'm definitely meaning it as a compliment. Like it's there. It's very much a organized chaos kind of thing. And when you can represent that so well in the music, then that's very very valuable to film. Like extremely
Sure.
valuable to film. Much more so than just regular music using regular song form like mine is. So it's because they can place it between your music underneath all of the organization and all of the acting, the scenes, but mine has to be a prominent thing. It has to be in place of all of the scenes and the acting, you know. So that's
So,
why your music technically to the film industry is more valuable than mine.
well, tell that to some people in the film industry. I mean, ironically,
No,
ironically,
you'll have
like
to do that.
next week, I'm going to be interviewing Carlos Rafael. Oh, I forget his last name. But uh, hold on, I got to look it up. Um, Carlos. I'm so bad with names. Carlos Rafael Rivera. He's like won multiple Emmys. I'm going to be interviewing him next week. I've actually interviewed him 2 times before too, which is kind of funny. Um, but like maybe you should tell him to like incorporate my stuff into some movies or something. But uh, I can't do it myself because I would be like a breach of protocol. It'd be like you probably wouldn't want to talk to me after that anymore. You know. But
Well, I would say that is the way it kind of goes, man. Sometimes you just have to ask them and see what they
yeah, I
say.
suppose. I suppose. So what about your music? Like, I don't want to make it all about me. What have you like you go on tours and stuff like that? I would imagine.
Not yet. No, no, no.
Okay, not
We're
yet.
Yeah, we're still in a sort of um, we're in the place of the audio has been released and it's done really
Sure.
well, and we still have a lot more visual expansion to make, and then after that, there's a origin story sort of establishment of what's happened so far in film, and then after that you've got music videos, and then after that you've got a tour. Well, for me, I'm the main content creator and main writer and the main songwriter and for the band. And this time for Aversion to Normalcy, I brought in studio musicians from Nashville. Jerry Rowe, who is the drummer for a band called Friendship Commanders, and they're actually out on tour right now. And Louis Espelliat, who is the bassist, and he's been a session player for like 20 years in Nashville and has played on every major country record you've ever heard of. He's got really fun stories of all the different people who he's recorded with, and it's really awesome. And I believe he did an event at least at the Country Music Hall of Fame not too long ago. So he's around in that in in that session player life that so many musicians have been like, man, if I could only just have gotten that studio gig, I might have ended up that studio musician. He's the guy who actually did end up the studio musician. Yeah, and so then we also had Zach Rapp, who is does the lead guitars and the violins. So I did the vocals and the rhythm guitars. Yeah, it's um, we have a lot of dealing with the world as a thinking, living human, trying to describe the human experience and trying to make it as universal as possible. Because I am drawing from my personal experiences, which are not very ubiquitous. There's not a lot of people who have done the kinds of things that I've done, but um, I still want to try to relate the feelings and emotions of going through those trials, going through those conflicts, and learning something about yourself, so that you come out better on the other side instead of worse. So there's themes of dealing with conflict, dealing with the world uh, not being well. The album is called "Aversion to Normalcy," right? And the line that I have that goes along with it is when tyranny becomes the norm, in order to survive, you'll need an aversion to normalcy. So it's kind of so it's setting up the idea that if you are someone who's in defiance of a larger entity, a larger organization, then this album is for you. Right, right, exactly, and it's one of the reasons why I compiled the songs in the way that I did, and that I included, especially in Unspoken. We sampled James Baldwin's pin drop speech, and it starts. The speech starts out with, uh, uh, um, son of a bitch. It's it's right on the tip of my tongue. I swear to God, I spent all day listening to it. I should know it. Um, what is relevant about this is that 40 years ago, when I was born, these were the things that were never. There were many things we never said to uh, the oppressive class. That's paraphrasing, but so we include that speech because he's describing to Cambridge University in pre Civil Rights Act. What's the whole big deal with this racism thing in America? Like that was literally close to the question of what they were trying to ask because they didn't get it. They didn't get what the whole premise of racism was. And they're like, we're not racist. And not realizing that they're the most imperial country in the entire world at that point. They are the poster child now for us as the imperialist, racist, oppressive, totally stomping everybody else's cultures and just replacing it with their own. And he was trying to describe to them what the perspective of a black man is in America that doesn't view him as a full human. Yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah, it's in the end. Well, it's for them. That's a conversation stopper. So they're kind of it's kind of done after that. Like, well, I mean, yeah, we did. So either yeah, and that always is the the main one of the main issues that I do have with this country. Even though I fought for it, I still uh, love. I still want to retain the right to criticize it perpetually because that's what continues democracy. And I I know that we know that, and that's a thing, but it definitely needs to continue to be said so that people hear it and understand it. Right? Yes. Yeah, and there's also a difference in intention. If you're walking in ignorant and stepping on people's toes, and you are informed that you're stepping on people's toes, and you change, that's different than just walking in and be like, "Hi, I'm the big fucking American. I'm going to do whatever the hell I want all the time, whenever." That two there's two entirely different modalities that definitely need. One requires ire as a response, and the other one requires a little bit of correction and encouragement. Oh, mm, wow. Yeah, yeah. Yes, it is. Yeah, I can understand that a lot, and there's the pull that a society can have on an individual is something that is a topic in the music that I write. You know, part of the aspect of being independent is having to be defiant, to stand up in the face of adversity, and facing that adversity in this case when it is white nationalism, when you're trying to get out of the movement, um, because you recognize its harms. There is a hell of a lot of danger to it, but every single step you take away from that will always be worth it. I've never seen someone be like, I regret it. I regret becoming more knowledgeable about the rest of the world. I haven't fucking met someone who's truly been doing that. So that alone should stand as a testament to people. If they're looking to get away from it, they can, and they absolutely should. And there is a matter of discipline that will take over your life when you ignore the idle threats of stupid people. Yeah. Oh, yeah. 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 Right. Yeah. I can't wait for the day. But yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. 100%, man. Yeah. Like it's, yeah. No, no, it's not. It's nowhere close, man. No. I mean, no, you need a full blowout. No, people don't. People who have long, like I have long hair, right? People who have been through, like, and actually done shit for their hair understand what it takes to actually get the the bullshit rag shit that's on top of his head. They don't realize how long that actually takes. The person who, at least maybe even people who he pays to do that and has been doing that for as long, would make any regular man be like, that's not fucking normal. Like, I mean, even my girlfriend doesn't spend that much time, making up her hair, and we go out to dinner every Friday and Saturday night. So what the heck? Like, I mean, there's so many little things that should have sent off. If we're dealing with the manosphere right now, where the hell were they when Donald Trump going on in 10 pounds of fucking makeup, looking like the clown from Spawn, talking about Mexicans are rapists when he's a fucking pedophile? Holy shit balls. holy shit. My ire for this entire fucking movement has gone beyond just like, I need to call them on shit. It's like now I'm just trying to usher the ones who are falling off the wagon into the realm of therapy. I'm not even trying to debate them anymore. There's no point. There's only certain people who deserve a specific amount of bullying because their views are so bigoted and so racist and so absolutely off their fucking rocker that they deserve a gigantic punch in the dick linguistically every single chance that someone gets. But the rest of them, whenever they fall off the back of that wagon, when somebody is there to actually be like, there is an alternative to the bullshit that you've been given, and at least give them that chance instead of running to try and jump back on the wagon again. That's the only chance I've found that we've had. Yeah, I mean, there's a saying in the atheists. No, right? There's a saying in the atheist community that you can't bring someone to reason from a position that they didn't get there by reason, and that definitely applies in today's politics. Oh, oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. We can say, hey, everybody, go listen to Aversion to Normalcy on Spotify or your streaming platform of choice. Go check out our larger discography at Bandcamp, thequarantine.bandcamp.com. Follow us on social media, and so you can get ready for all the new cool stuff that's going to come out from us, the Quarantined. Sure. No, okay. All right. Hey, it's we'll talk after the recording to we'll talk about that. Yeah, I know it's fine. You look good.